officially open up the line. Happy Sunday. Welcome us back to our first full session of Soulful Sundays since we began our several weeks of journeying in ceremony and doing our own spiritual work. We're going to go ahead and get things open today with a little bit of a sound collage with those in-house. And if you're home and have some instruments or you just want to utilize your vocal cords, feel free to just make a joyful noise along with us today. Spirit guides, ascended masters, all of those that are above working for our good, higher space. We're going to take this time right now and that's just that. Have you go ahead and do the libation for us.
All right, so we take time to give special thanks to our ancestors, those that have gone before us, who have walked this physical plane, this earth dimension, this 3D reality, and have had similar experiences and now have transitioned to non-physical form to assist us from the other side, as we say. So by acknowledging them, we're acknowledging the connection, that they are still with us, they're still present, they're still assisting us. Even though the ancestors, we may not be in our lineage, but we call upon because of their courage, their bravery, their honor, what they did for humanity, our people. We call upon their energy now. So as we pour the water into the earth, and the plant here symbolizing the spirit of the earth, connected to, feel free to call out those names of the ancestors that have transitioned that you know, as well as those that you are connected with. As we say our shade, so the connection and the support from them right now. Go ahead.
Melinda Partner,
Ache,
Rose Porter,
Ache,
Ezra Porter,
Ache,
Cora Porter,
Ache, Dora Hall,
Ashe,
Bertha Tucker,
Ashe,
Mary Mel Tucker,
Ashe,
Mary Wallace,
Ashe,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Ashe,
Marcus Garvey,
Ashe,
Nat Turner,
Ashe,
Sojourner Truth,
Ashe,
Harriet Tubman,
Ashe,
Martin Luther King,
Ashe,
and all those names and names, we say Ashe and give thanks.
Ashe, 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 yo.
And we just take 3 deep breaths to center ourselves. If one move is not beyond love with intention. Relax. Now, take a deep breath in through the nose, releasing out of the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose, releasing out of the mouth. One more deep breath in through the nose, and releasing out through the mouth. Relaxing our release. Simple breathing. Putting ourselves into the net. And officially, again, my person like to welcome everyone. That we get more about it. We apologize for the delayed start. Although we're on time, yet delayed at the same time. Yes, we know always. Not always our fault. This time we just, the challenge getting into the facility. So we just laid out setting up, just laid out engagements, energetically what we should be. So we just want to apologize and look forward to, making necessary intentional, energetic intentions so that as those come into the physical place, we're already set up, ready to welcome. You already welcome by the energy, and we're ready to physically represent with the welcome in the physical form. The energy is already prepared for the space that you come in. And the same is online by the time that you come online to, engage in discussions. Everything will be copacetic so that we're relaxed to the now smoothly, generally at 11 a.m. So that intention. If it doesn't happen, that's what it is, but that's our intention. So.
So, as those of you who have been joining us online and here in person, we started a conversation about the 5 agreements. And I'm just going to, again, announce what they are. And we're going to wrap up that conversation and leave space for any discussions, anything that you may want, while we're going through this process. And like I said, next week, we're going to start looking at the tools that we use in our spiritual modalities and how we move forward and what type of life practices that we use to pull in those things that we're looking for, how to set intentions, how to do altars, how to clean spaces, clean ourselves, and then clean the environment and things that we're in, so that we're in spiritually safe environments that allow us to do what it is that we came here to do on our agreements and assignments upon coming to the earth. All right. The 5 agreements. 1, be impeccable with your words. 2, don't take anything personally. 3, don't make assumptions. 4, always do your best. 5, be skeptical, but learn to listen. All right. So we look at 1, be impeccable with the words. My biggest takeaway from that is what we say is what we manifest. So if we constantly talk about things or if we constantly complain, we continue to manifest those things that we talk about and complain about. And then oftentimes we wonder, why does it always happen to me? It may always happen to you because you are always talking about it. Even if an incident occurs, if you spend a lot of energy talking about that incident, You know, when we get traumatized and we go back into that trauma space, we spend a lot of energy regurgitating. This happened to me. This happened to me. We don't get to move into other spaces. Doesn't mean ignore anything that happened. That you can acknowledge. You know, this happened. As a result of that, I am now moving in this direction. That way, you give it credence. You know, you acknowledge it, and then you move forward from it. Because a lot of times you may try to ignore things or just push it aside, act like it didn't happen, and then you don't address it or deal with it, and so it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. You keep having issues dealing with that. You got to resolve that situation. Hey, this happened. Now, what I need to do to move forward, and then spend all your energies on that moving forward part. Anything, any thoughts anyone had was be impeccable with it.
I read somewhere that better than 1,000 useless words, one useful word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my person have another perspective, part of this belief and philosophy of the word that it engages your spiritual power. If you speak it, if you're true, the more the impact of your words is aligned with what you believe, you believe about reality. That's another way of saying being impeccable with your words. Your words align with what you need, align with your beliefs. And when that's done, that creates strong bond, energetic with oneself, higher self, lower self. And that bond is also looked at, my person sees it as energetic immunity. So we get in the fall season now here in North America, we get close to the winter season. You know, some people may be more susceptible to catching cold. You know, whether it be from the elements or around someone who maybe have a cold or some type of virus. Then there are others, go outside, a little clothes on, or be around people that have these things. Their immune system is very high. So the opposite of that would be someone who has what they call it body immune deficiency syndrome. Their immune system is very weak. So again, this being a technical word, my person finds that it adds energetic, it strengthens your energetic immunity so that the fears that is permeating in society for the most part, we don't become susceptible because we're standing in our square, in our belief system that keeps us, not moved, not shaken, or fears, emotions, or those many different things about life, or also 5G, or just these different frequencies, that come and bombard us from the outside. You're more fortified, energetic about being a our words, still shocking. Right here, those who look at the chakra system, the two above our chakras more so spiritual, and the one below more so by emotions. So again, by speaking by being impeccable, in a sense it unites our higher chakras, our lower chakras, because this is our very heart. My first perspective and being impeccable.
Okay, any other thoughts? All right. The next thing, don't take anything personally. You create your own story. You believe and know who you are. Second characters are people around you, So if people are doing things, if there are incidents taking place around you, it may affect you or come at you in some way, but you don't need to take it personal. You need to internalize. Somebody say something about you that's not true. You don't need to become that because they said something, oh, he's nasty, so your attitude, you call it nasty. You allow that person to impose something on you that wasn't necessarily true. Other times people behave and say and do things because of their own day, because of their own experiences, because of their own agendas. And so if their agenda is to be nasty, they may not be coming at you personally just to be nasty. That's who they are. That's their agenda. I don't want to be happy. You ever say good morning to someone, a great day? Great day. What's so great about today? Their agenda is, I'm not making this a great day. But you can't get upset that they didn't appreciate yours saying great day. That's their agenda. That's their own space that they're moving in. Don't make it personal, you know? What is it that your agenda sets you out want to do? Stick to your agenda. You know, if your agenda is to be love and light, be love and light. Because in order for light to shine, it's got to go in dark anyway. You can't, you know, you don't see the light until you put it in a dark space, and that light illuminates, you know, in that darkness. And so, who are you? What is your agenda? And what does their agenda have to do with you? You know, can you think of a situation where you may have taken things personally that now you better understand, oh, I shouldn't have taken that personally?
At work,
Mm-hmm.
at work,
At work.
my boss, and how she just kind of treats all of her employees very negatively. That's one thing I've noticed. I've like begun to internalize, and I do get angry, obviously, when I feel like my boundaries are being crossed and stuff like that. But her agenda is just getting every dollar. So can't take it personal. Like can't take it personal.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think if you understand, okay, that's her agenda, she's getting every dollar. And if you are there to get a dollar, then maybe you look at, well, what things do we have in common in getting this dollar? You know what I'm saying? And if your energy is distracted by, well, I got to get this done because I need this dollar anyway, it doesn't resonate so much how she is because, you know, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. You know, I had a few bosses in my life or people that employed me or hired me to do work that I'm like, you hired me and then you spending all of your energy doing it yourself, or you got all these micromanaging techniques, you know. And I had to learn to allow them to do all of what they were doing and just receive my check. I was like, okay, so what you just wanted was somebody to check off and say what you're doing is correct, or this is how you do it, you know. You didn't really intend for me to come in and change. You know, look at what you're doing maybe and figure out for you how to make what you were doing work for yourself. And so when I realized it wasn't about me coming in and giving them this greater plan and whatever it was, okay, this is what you got going on. Or maybe if you got two more people to do X, Y, and Z, that may flow better for you because this is obviously the direction you want to go. You just haven't figured out how to make that work. You know, now if you realize that that's employing a whole lot more people that you don't need, and there's a nice, more efficient way to get this done, then we can talk when you're ready for that stage, you know, when you're ready to make that change. It's like I stopped trying to fight people into a new direction and let them see what it is their direction is doing or calling for and let them move in the direction that they're moving in until they're ready to do something different. It's like understanding it ain't personal. They have their agenda. That's the biggest takeaway I got from that. Other people have their agenda. And if I allow them to just do their agenda, it gives me the space to not spend any energy feeling any kind of way, being any kind of upset, being any kind of confused, you know, or doing too much that doesn't serve my person to try to serve someone else. I'm like, this doesn't work for me. But that may work for you, you know. Any thoughts, and don't take anything personal.
Yes, for that, just want to go back to our question of love, chime in on the impeccableness
Okay.
conversation. Impeccable can't be pecked with strong or stern. Can be pecked with strong or stern in its meaning. Stands up to the test. Can be stood on. Attention and attention matching. That was a comment followed by intention and attention much on impeccable and attention and intuition match. Yeah, that comment that came from our personal love. And as far as we don't take it personal, this here's my person in correlation to its insights over the last 2 out of the 3 ceremonies over the last 3 strong years. The last 3 strong years we participated in ceremony, sacred class. And the first ceremony was a person came away with a victim in a predator relationship, was unaware. And this came as a result of the first ceremony of, embracing being breaking the early age, what they did, shutting down and not under my personal divine feminine, so whatever they did. However, wasn't aware that there's a correlation between the victim and the predator. So when the victim of rape, there's potential for the predator to be there also. Not to the same degree as physical rape, but it's there. And then upside from that was, there was more than just physical rape of the experience, it's emotional. Not being able to express yourself, your own creativity, waking up your own freedom, how to perform, do certain things. And I've heard this over the different types of rape. Wow, this is heavy. So then the second ceremony that compounded that was what a person calls the rebirthing experience. It was allowed to the same theory that is shared when someone trying to have a physical death, it's a physical transition that you perform. God is your life is flashing before your eyes. You've got a camera for all that you've done. So the second ceremony, a person went back to a whole experience that it recalled that it didn't recall. It's like this whole life. Wow. And my person was put in the position of the victim and the predator from all those experiences. And Tahuti, that was a guy, my person's journey was like, you've always been the victim of the predator for the most part. Now that you're aware of this, you can choose not to be any, you can choose to be either the victim or the predator or none of them. So with that said, it goes back to don't taking it personal because in a sense of taking it personal, my person is the victim. Oh, you did this, you're the victim of what you did, So how to not take things personal from being a victim perspective, because again, don't take it personal. We've heard that before. But from my person, since it actually had the experience of being the victim, like in real time, like time from past, the present, future happening now, they say that experience is love. Because right now, we experience those things that happened in the past, but it's happening right now. And so now a person sees that, okay, we spoke about the hermetic principles in the series before. And 2 of those that my person has to be holding on to that assist them not being from the person is the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence. My person holds those as truth. That what's happening on the outside is what's on the inside. And whatever happened, regardless of what happened, there was a cause for it that was unseen. And so by not taking it personal, by not being a victim, how could you do this? My person is able to be non-biased and say, first of all, how do you feel about it? If you feel a certain way that unpleasant about what happened, then that law of correspondence says that, there's something in you that's not accepting what this is. So there's something that you're rejecting about yourself. It may not be the exact same thing, it may be slightly different. That's how metaphysics works. Not always the exact same thing, but it's symbolic. And so by opening up to what's inside of my person, it allows me to feel a certain way about how you express yourself. By not honoring your free will, also by not honoring how source energy, Mother, Father, God, choose to express itself now in this being. That goes back to a violation of resisting source energy, resisting God, because this is how it chooses to show up right now. And so it says, okay, by accepting that, it accepts a certain part of itself. So the theory is, and from real experiences, that my person, as it becomes okay with people like your boss, as you become okay with her, you're healing yourself. Because she's no longer, you accept her for being who she is. You don't take it personal. You accept it just how this spirit manifests from source energy. In the essence of it is God and the devil. And as we really know, ultimately the devil is really bad because without the devil, there wouldn't be a God. Without the masculine, there would be a feminine. Without hot, there wouldn't be cold. Electricity, you have to have electric and magnetic. That's the essence of creation, duality. You have to have both of them. So by even accepting so-called devil, so-called evil, which is what lived back, the devil lived backwards. By accepting these things, you allow the expression of source energy, how we choose to manifest, and we're not moved by it, and thereby we're not taking the approach because we don't feel a certain way about the absolute individual. So this is how, using that example, how my person looks at every single, every day, and say that that's the discipline to slow down enough to be aware of how you feel about the experience, to see whether or not we take this personal. Do you feel a certain way? Well, this is the way, they choose to express themselves. And sometimes it could be something from what we did, like directly that triggered them, or they could be triggered by something else and take it out on us and just bring it to this experience. Because we do that quite a bit sometimes. If you're living in the past, bring that past experience to the future and take it out on whoever from us right now. So, depending on what comes to pass or using the actual call, by not taking it personal from a certain perspective, allows us the freedom to not be moved and the freedom for the energy to express itself how it needs to express itself. And once it's done, it's moved on. So it's not keep on in a circle of harboring certain feelings about the boss or what someone did, which that attachment bring that back to you again. Get my personal theory on, the benefits and non-benefits of being attached and non-attached.
Right. Any other thoughts anybody want to share? Don't take it personal. All right. Agreement number 3. Don't make assumptions. I think a lot of miscommunication leads to assumptions. Because instead of getting what my mom used to say, that you get it from the horse's mouth, because by the time this person tells that person the story, that version, you all played that game, you whisper something in somebody's ear, and by the time they get around the room, even when it was a small number of people, that same story didn't make it the same way to the other person. So get it from the horse's mouth used to be my mom's thing, because then you told me directly. And I didn't get it from this person who told that person who told that person. And because this person didn't give the direct translation of what was said, I made some assumptions. Oh, maybe he meant this. And so this person made an assumption and told somebody something else. What did they? Oh, I think it was. So a lot of what you get in assumptions is just miscommunication. Or you being in your own head. Nothing happened. You walk up on a situation. A friend of mine is an actor. He's doing a scene and he's in a movie and they filming. And he's on the sidewalk. And he's in character playing a homeless guy. One lady walked up and gave him some money. She's not part of the cast of the day. She just walks up and gives him some money. And he's trying to, make her understand we're filming, And then somebody else came, and before you know it, there's like a number of people just walking by. And so they shot the scene without any of the lines that was needed because all of the people that was coming in and giving money. They go back the next day and shoot the scene again and did lines where they had petitioned the street off so that people would walk into the scene again. But the assumption was he was a homeless man, not even paying attention to the environment around that maybe this isn't a homeless man. I told him, I said, I think at least a few of those people knew that there was a camera there and just wanted to be in whatever scene you would do. I told him, I said, but at the same time, that's me making an assumption. They could have just been honest, goodwill people that saw somebody in need. And on any given day, sometimes people just want to do something for someone else. And so that was they're taking advantage of an opportunity to do something for someone else. And I know for a fact, when one person witnessed somebody else give money, that promotes other people giving money. Like, from standing when you used to play your saxophone, people would give money sometimes because somebody else gave money, right? It's like I stole, so oh, well, if he's sort enough to give that person some money, then I'm gonna give that person something. Yeah, it won't hurt. Let me give something, you know. But the assumption being made could be to the benefit. It could be to the death, you know. If you make the wrong assumption, you might cause more harm than help because you making assumptions about things that doesn't benefit anyone. For them, the good thing was now you got all of these people. You ain't got to hire extras when you need things to show a bunch of people crossing in and out that sea. You don't have to hire extras. That's a win-win for the camera people. But you could look at it as, oh, we'll come back and film a whole nother day, you know. But if you take the time from what you gathered in your first shoot and the time from what you gathered in the second shoot, it could still be a benefit because I don't know if anyone has ever been on a movie set or seen movies and stuff being made for 3 seconds of a film. Sometimes that could be all day with everybody redoing the same thing over and over and over again. And inevitably, it's not the exact same thing because I might have walked and started on the left foot instead of the right foot by this time. And so when you cut it, edit it together, it makes a difference because there becomes that jump. And the thing, oh, when they started walking, everybody started on the left foot. And then the fourth time we shot, when they started walking, everybody started on the right foot. Don't make a difference just to the human eye, but it makes a great big difference on the camera, you know. So the assumption might be for the person watching the TV, oh, my TV jumped. Not understanding it ain't got nothing to do with your TV at this point, as much as it is what was filmed had a glitch in it because of it being edited. Don't make assumptions. Anything that you feel like you think though you were prone to make assumptions in?
One thing I've learned from a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and I work with students ages 2 to 18. I don't assume anything from them. And I had to learn that from the beginning. Because you'd be surprised by what you learn from a student while they might dress, present themselves a certain way, but their minds and how they think are more prolific than what you assume based upon their appearances. And also the inverse as well. This because the kid looks like the stereotypical kid. They might look like they read or do whatever. They might not be the best student. They might not care about school. But I learned that no matter whomever I come across, I just treat them as a person and allow their actions and time to tell me the story.
That's a beautiful place for all lessons. Working with other people, especially with young people, because they are the most population of having assumptions made, like you said. You know, as a teacher, out in society, just in the streets, because people assume, okay, a kid, you know, they were for the longest be seen and not heard, you know, so you go through that phase in life, and then what you're not being allowed to say, you know, as a chef was sharing earlier, you know, being unable to express himself the way he needed to express himself, you know, creates a whole bunch of other issues in the maturation of the child. But those who are able to be in environments to embrace their own ideas, embrace their own thoughts, embrace their own feelings, thrive far more than those who've been suppressed. Those who've been suppressed at the same time can still thrive. It's just what that looks like to get to that place. Maybe is, you know, most different for those who've had more of a helping hand. Any thoughts? Don't make a sense.
Yeah, this is good. Thanks for sharing because it's a great reminder. This is one of those principles that's definitely, you know, has been more challenging, especially the masculine manifested as the masculine. You know, they problem solvers. We're wired to solve problem solvers. Sometimes, and with the Gemini rising vibration, you know, Gemini thinking communication anyway. We kind of quick to identify the problem and solve the problem. You know, it's not always correct. Sometimes there's something that's like a hit and miss. However, it's just one of those things about looking to be more mindful and just settle. That it open more up to its feelings now. So it's just practicing on a daily basis, to check in with his feelings, be attentive, but also to check in from the feelings from a peaceful place. Because even if checking with the feelings and know the vibration is not really peaceful, there's a good chance we're not feeling the essence of what it is. So, it's just every day, something to be more intentional about because of so many years making so many assumptions. To just relax, check in on how you feel. If you're at peace, and then go with that, and then begin to see if there's a cord between what you're putting together and how you feel in that place of peace. So, yeah.
And your share, I was just thinking about how many times, will the feminine come and share just because she wants to share. I feel a certain way, something happened in my day, and I just want to share what this day was. And the masculine may feel like, well, you should have done this, but did you look at this? Next time do such and such. I'm not looking for your answer to solve my problem. I'm not in this space of having this one more person tell me something. I just left work. I had to have somebody tell me something all day that I didn't agree with. I am just that right now, just sharing. This is what my day was. And I'm probably sharing because I want to be able to take a breath, evaluate, go in, and then go and transition to the next phase. But if you come at me with all of that after I was just sharing, now you add to whatever energy, and then again, here come the assumptions. You think you my dad. You think you need to tell me what to do. That's my assumption. Your assumption was, well, you was telling me your problem. I thought you were looking for an answer. That's your assumption. So it all entwines and plays back on itself on different levels over and over because the space is, when we're going to get to that, if we just really learn to listen, you may get a better understanding of how to respond. So number 4 is always do your best.
Because Mother Love have another comment.
Okay.
Don't make assumptions. They don't make assumptions. Ask questions for clarity. Not able to, and you can't accept it for face value. Lean to the good answer. Add value to the best result, or leave it be.
All right. Always do your best. Have discipline to make it real. Have a strong will and know what you want. Whatever you do against humanity, you do against yourself. So those were just notes I wrote down. Always do your best because my intentions are to show up, to help humanity, to be a light, to spread love, but understand that there may be challenges in doing that. So I do my best in every situation. There, prior to being in this space, I was one of those ones that work ethics to me was most important. That was my focus with that. And you would show up for a job that you took. You agreed to the job. So that means do your best on that job, even if you don't like that job. My mom would say, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street mother. If you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper there is. Whenever you sweep the streets, if you miss the day, make sure everyone knows, wow, that person was missed because if they swept the street, you would notice this thing. So whatever you do your best. And it was like I would be on jobs where people complain. Oh, they got us doing this. I don't want to do this, and all they do is pay us this. They making this much money. We all know most companies have overhead. And if they're paying you $18 an hour, they're probably charging the people $100 an hour. And you got that 18, but you signed up for that 18. You agreed to take that job at that $18 an hour. So do your best. And in doing your best, I know for me, I've been hired by companies that hire me out to another company, and I will show up and do what I need to do. And when I was no longer working with that other company, the company that they hired me out to reached out to me directly. Hey, can we contact you? Because what I brought to the table was my best. And I am going to leave you with that impression of having done my best. So then we don't need the middleman anymore. You know, my contract with them ended. I'm moving to go somewhere else, but that company's like, well, we liked what you did. You know, we want what you brought to the table. Your creativity was on point. Can we tap back into how do we make this happen? And then be able to go into a contract with them directly. But I did my best. You know, I especially loved I worked in theater and film and TV for years. So I especially love doing that. So it's easy to do your best when you're working within your passion. You know, so I always feel like that's another part of that. Do those things that you love to do that makes it easier for you to do your best. But sometimes you got to do those things you don't want to do to be able to hone in the skills you need to do what you want to do. Does that make sense? Did I say that clearly enough? I've been stumbling on words today. But but you when you understand the process of it all, it gets you to your best. It's like, so what's beneficial for me in the long run if I do this right now? You know, I may not like the way it feels to maybe take a plant medicine and you got to burn my arm, but the benefits that come after you to burn my arm and I took that plant medicine make me get to the point of, well, I can take this because at the end I'm gonna do this. You know, what's my best? You know, because I may be less than my best if I shy away from it. You know, but I can get better to my best if I go through this process. Any thoughts, anyone, on doing your best? Any encouraging words in doing that?
We keep talking about work,
Mhm.
but I'm starting to realize I feel like work is a place for like a lot of people where they're spiritually challenged. I think you all said that one time again. Like I'm feeling those challenges coming through me in my life. The point of like productivity I was at when I started a little bit over a year ago versus now has declined so drastically. And I'm starting to realize like I'm really only giving 20% there when I was giving 100%, and that 20% is my 100%. And I'm not giving my best. And it really is time for me to move on because like I'm just not passionate about it. It doesn't align with me.
Right.
And I think it's on my phone. I took a picture of like a fortune cookie that I got the other day when I was going out to eat, and it said something about like how you're not going to put in your 100% if it's not in your interest. And I'm just, I got to find the things I'm interested in because apparently I'm doing a lot of stuff that I'm not, and now I'm giving 20%. So
I mean, that's a good exercise for yourself, really, to sit down and think about what is it that you love? What is it that you're passionate about? You know, and then Google jobs that align into those passions, you know, or you might go into a space where you then learn to create your own business and then work and thrive from there. You know, my personal businesses that I had started with me. I attended to go to the School of the Arts. It started with me being able to move into the different modalities and different spaces of entertainment until I found my niche. And it's like, okay, I was a musician for a while, carrying my own instruments and all of that stuff didn't really work out for me. We know that. You know, went to theater, was forced to do dance and had to take all these other classes in preparation for being a performer. And it was like, you know, that ballet piece ain't really working. You know, I like the jazz, I like the modern dance. I like the tap. I'm not feeling the ballet. I'm not feeling that so much. And so maybe I don't want to spend all of my energy trying to be this dancer, you know. And then it just worked for me directing more. It worked for me writing more. You know, those became my spaces. So like, so when I want to be around people and be off of my energy, I can go direct, I can go act, I can do that. You know, if I want to be in my introvert, quiet self, I'll sit down and pick up a journal and I'll write some poetry and I'll write some plays and I'll write some things. And then when I want to go outward, I can take those pieces and put them out into live performance or help other people bring their vision and dreams to stage and help other people take their shows and things on tour. You know, those became other ways to create jobs for myself, you know, and that may look like helping somebody else dream. But my job is to help you actualize your dream, you know.
What you both said, one thing that really resonates with me is that 100% isn't always, like you said, it might not be 100 of what you had before, but whatever it is, what you have the interests, you have the strengths, you have the areas of growth. And I tell my students all the time, the result is not a reflection of who you are, but the effort that you give and what you have inside of you is what you got. This might not be your jam, give me everything that you got in that moment that we're here, and we'll focus on what you are good at. Like you said, going through that journey to figure that out. You might figure it out in a year, it might take you 10. You might figure it out tomorrow, no. And that was like you.
Where were all of these teachers in some of those areas of my life? Because from what you're sharing, like it sounds as if your students really are blessed to have you come into the room in a space of consciousness that allows them to really flourish. Because a lot of people are so rigid and do it this way, A, B, and C, opposed to, well, maybe Johnny needs to play music when he works. Maybe this person needs to sit in the corner and be very quiet when they work. So how about we give Johnny some headphones? And as long as Johnny is getting his work done, let Johnny wear his headphones, you know. That's what he needs to do. Where freshman might need to sit in the corner and it's completely quiet. I don't want anybody talking to me. Let me do what I need to do by myself. And then find exercises and things that brings them both together so they're able to be more disciplined in the community and be able to open up and function in the community together. So thank you for what you do. I want to send all the love and energy to support you and continuing to be able to sustain in those environments. Because I also know with each student comes a parent. And that may be a whole nother vibration in and of itself.
Indeed. Question. The 100% government job that went to 20, was it the job or the people, or what was it that made it drop? Was it when you first went, when you first went, was it the love of the job you were doing, or what was it that made you do the 100%? Passion already, or
It wasn't passion that made me give 100% at first. I think it was the fact that I was just grateful. Like when I first came, and the place itself, it kind of does align with me, but at the same time it doesn't. Like I'm kind of doing things. The job that I do is like adjacent to what I'm passionate to, but it's not exactly what I'm passionate to. Like I work around fabric, clothes, people that are learning how to sew, and these are like all my passions. But what I do there is answer emails and do project management and do people's timesheets. And at first, I was just grateful, like, oh man, like I'm in this space and it's cool. I can answer this email, but then as time continued, I just felt less grateful and less grateful because I really wasn't. And maybe that's something that I need to like refresh in myself because I'm still grateful for the experience and all the things I've learned there. So that could maybe help me bring my 20 to 30 to 40. But at the same time, I just also realized like even though this is right next to what I'm passionate about, it's not what I'm passionate about.
Are there any opportunities at all where maybe you could go into those areas where your passion is and do something where, you know, that might allow you into the space? Like maybe did you want to sew? If you want to sew, hey, can I run some hymns? You know, are there opportunities to do that?
It is like a dynamic workplace where it's like I'm not necessarily stuck in one place, but the culture and the environment and my boss, the way she leads, it's not aligning with me at this point in time. And there's so much negativity that comes in. Like the moment you step into the door, everyone's just feeling miserable. You can just feel it, and it's starting to mess with my not just my work ethic, but like just my mental health in general.
Well, is there a way as you transition from there to be more like, to get more of the inside of what they're doing so that if your own business or you do find more of the line that you have, the administrative side of a business, you can also look over there and see how they want to do things like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with the project management.
Right.
And just speaking about project management, I do feel like, in a sense, like project management is also like a spiritual path in and of itself. Just because like you see like a big idea, but like you're like, okay, well, how do we like actually actualize this into like a thing that can happen? And that I'm forever grateful for learning how to do, especially because like a lot of the things I struggle with in my day-to-day life, like I have ADHD and like all these other things. So those skills help me to like, how do I actually get something done and like, be intentional and work towards it. That has helped me tremendously. So I know I can take that wherever I go, whatever passion I have, and use that for my benefit. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yes. The last point is be skeptical, but learn to listen. Everyone has their own truth. Be respectful to yourself. You don't have to agree with others. You don't have to agree with other versions of truth, yet allow them to express their truth. Allow them to be comfortable in what it is that they bring to the table. So if somebody is saying something to you and you don't necessarily believe it or know it to be true, what isn't true for you might be very true for that person. So allow them to be in their space. That could be religion, that could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Allow them to be free in their space. And that's how you bring harmony into your environment. Okay, that's where you are. Great, happy for you. Then I'm gonna be happy in my space, And that's what they're coming at you with is something to demean, debase the moral you. And even in that, it's not personal that you're coming at me with these attacks. I'm just gonna let you do you, and I'm gonna go be me in another area. I'm gonna go be me outside of your energy, outside of your space, So that my takeaway at the end of the day is, wow, if that person appears to be hurting, if that person has presented whatever, I wish them well in their journey, whatever is best for them. I wish you well in your journey. And then I'll continue in my journey, Any thoughts? Be skeptical, but learn to.
All five of those things seem to align very well as you put it together. Being skeptical, don't assume anything, speak positively, don't take it personal, and just be your best ultimately. And they all just come together.
It's like when we do these series, I specifically look for the connected because a lot of people think of church is dying, you can't do this, you must do this, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. Opposed to, hey, this is what life looks like. These are the experiences in life, These are challenges that we might have within these experiences. How can we find ways to harmonize with stuff? How can we find ways to be in common unity within the community so that we're all progressing and becoming our higher selves? Like Master Chef and I sit here and, we facilitate the conversation, but that doesn't mean that you might not have something that speaks to something that helps me to do better on my journey, It's not no greater I and little you. It's we are all in this together, working to move to our higher state.
that's being an essential to, always get nourished and fed when shared, say iron sharpens iron, sharing that experience. So it's 5D journey is 3D reality.
I've heard it said that there are many paths to the top of the mountain, but once you reach the top, the view is the same.
I'll say, yeah, there it is. Uh-huh. Yeah. To the mother. Principle of love, I was trying to she said, everybody is on a journey where my treasures could be your trash. What burns one may be mild to someone who burns. Often learns and earns from different degrees. One man's trash, another man's treasure. Mhm. And that's one of the main purposes and visions of Temple Mother Earth. Um, personally sees it as a 5D portal. No matter what journey, what path you're on to ascend to that 5D, we have living from the heart, the community, oneness, vibration, whatever path, whatever modality, whatever science is, whether you're religion, spirituality, this is the place to come hang out and just talk about the journey, what it looks like, sharing the challenges, successes, and things like that, and no matter your background. So that's again, we just thanks for Temple Mother Earth, and also just with that templemotherEarth.org if you would like to find more activity goes on here, such as maybe the psychedelics or plant medicine, sweat lodge, different community events like on Monday there's a potluck, on Wednesday there's game night. Those are the two main ones besides Soulful Sundays on a regular basis. Everything else is on a monthly basis, based on the schedule, the full moon, things like that. So
And there barcodes and things on the table, and there's also mention of a snake ceremony over there on the 11th, I believe, that'll be taking place pretty soon. So you have the opportunity to really tap in to the spirit realm in different modalities. Some people want to just sit and meditate and get there. Some people use plant assistance to get there. Some people just like being in a community of other people to get there, so that you know that you have support of the journey. There's no one religion being taught here. There are different people in different walks of life that just want to come together in a spiritual space and be able to share. It's like, Monday nights, a lot of times, there are a bunch of people in here with instruments that, we're playing. And there have been a few times where the spirit elevation is just like the trance of being able to connect with our higher self has been beautiful. And it's been anybody, just different people, different walks, different nationalities, just all in one space. We're gonna come together in a common unity of we are people that seek to serve our higher self. Take advantage of it. My last note I had here, when you listen, you must learn a perspective that allows you to have compassion for the other people's perspective. So I wanted to make sure we shared that, to remember to have compassion for people. Listen for the opportunity to express compassion, to be compassionate. Most conversations, people want to be right. People want to make their point. I just need to be heard. But how much better would conversations be if we were really listening for an opportunity to be compassionate? Not make my point, not just be heard. But what if I'm listening just so that I can be compassionate? Because what that does is gives you the space to now start being compassionate. Because people mirror who we are. As Chef always said, if you see something showing up in somebody, you got to look at yourself and see what's going on in you that's reflected what's showing up in other people. So if you make it your business to be compassionate, then that starts to be what you attract and reflect. Because even if I'm coming at you wrong, that's going to already change the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't ask you. I got you. I might be more angry, But now I might even reflect my anger back to myself more so with you. Oh, you better than me. And I'm gone. But what happened? That energy left you and went somewhere else. You know, and all you said, yeah.
Some type of
Got it. All right. You know, it forces that person to have to deal with themselves because you can't argue by yourself. I mean, you can't. You can't. Might not be beneficial, but it's not going to get the effect you had for trying to argue. You know, change the dynamic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other questions or anything? Any questions for anyone online?
no, that's it.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and move into the inspiration of it all.
Was thinking at the same time, thinking we should at least share some of the different plants that we kind of thought of. There's mushroom ceremony that's done from time to time. There's also ayahuasca ceremony, sweat lodge ceremony, which sweat lodge is the medicine. And there's combo, which is called for detox form of engagement. So I guess it's all in the plant, but it's along the lines of medicine, sacred medicine. So, used to detox the body, things like that. So, again, if there's any other questions, either questions further about that, it's online, or I'll talk about that later. But just give you an idea, for those who may be interested, even including this, all the time we really do alcohol is Sundays for the discussion, innovation. So we do with this is symbolically pouring a libation. This is the communion that we have now. As a communion, communicating common unity of our, the reality of who we are as divine beings, gods, observe and, our journey of remembering that. So we integrate the teachings, those things that were said out loud and they'll upload and they become just personal for us to integrate those thoughts and the messages so that we can carry them forward through this strong and have a way of life, not just to be, talk about stuff. It's an integration. Yes. Again, just for those things that we take to heart, we take to heart. The eat the meat, step the bones. So if it resonates, we take them, bite them, integrate them to come back out of us through our actions. For these things, we say right on, amen, and ashe.
Michelle? We're gonna close out with a little more drumming. You wanna go ahead and drum it? You wanna go ahead? Right. Thank you, and we will see you all next round.
And then we give thanks to all those who have participated, seen and unseen. Ancestors, spirit guides, public spiritual research, the IFA, Feminine Masters, angels, archangels. We give thanks for your presence, your assistance. And until we call upon you again in such a way, the bid you adieu, say good day, right on, amen, and ashe.
Acheo!
What is social?